Hi friends, makeup artist Katie here. Today I'm going to teach you an over 40 2-minute makeup look. Now before I start, I'm going to actually put my timer on for 2 minutes. Now I've handpicked you as a makeup artist the products that I think really will make an instant difference to your look in the morning. So if you want to see what I'm using, there is a link above and I'll also put the link below. Once I've done the look, because I'm not going to talk during the look, I'm then going to remove it and talk you through how I've done this look, okay? Over 40 2-minute makeup look. So let me set up my timer and put this on 2 minutes. We ready? Oh, we're off. Now remember, once I finish this look, I will take it off and I will teach you all my expert makeup tips for getting an over 40 lovely makeup look in under 2 minutes. Anyone that's just joining, I'm not speaking because I'm doing a 2-minute makeup challenge that hopefully you can copy in the mornings using these products, and I'm going to talk you through how I do it afterwards. Oh, I've lost a makeup brush. There it is. Oh, I'm at 2 minutes already. Let's make it 3 minutes. Okay, stop the clock. We're on 2 minutes 30. Eek! Just over 2 minutes to create this look. I'm going to take it off and now I'm going to teach you expert makeup artistry tips for creating a 2 to 3 minute makeup look at home, okay? So I did this super quick using just 3 products and a makeup brush. And these are the products that I think that's all I've used to create this look. So I wanted to design for you a really quick kind of like morning routine makeup that you could do when you have 0 time, literally 3 minutes. So let's take this off. And now I'm going to talk you through all the goodies about why I chose a particular product and the tips that go with using a product that you might have similar at home, or you might want to look at these products, in which case I put the link above and you'll also find a link below. So let's take this off so I can then chat you through expert tips for achieving a 2-minute makeup look at home. That felt really weird not talking to you. Excuse me while I use a makeup wipe. I do get comments on not using wipes, but if I properly cleanse my face on camera, you'd be really bored. So I use ethical makeup wipes that decompose and are good for good for the environment. So I only use these for filming, because I know a number of people comment saying you shouldn't use wipes on your face, but I only do it for filming purposes, because I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me do a full cleanse. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe that's another little video I can make you. Okay, so I've removed the makeup and I'm going to talk you through makeup tips now for creating a 2-minute makeup look at home, because whether you use the products that I'm using, and if you want to take a look, the links above or below, I'm going to talk you through what I think are like essential products to add to your makeup look when you're in a rush and you want that instant impact, but you're short of time. Now, I will say I've already done my brows, so that's potentially cheating a little bit. But I know not everyone likes to do their brows, so I took that into consideration. Okay, so the first thing I would do in the morning when I'm in a rush is I'd always put like an SPF on my face. So I will always do that, and I'll put it under my eyes, on my neck, and I'd let that soak in for a couple of minutes. This is the point where I'll be like, okay, I'll brush my teeth while that's soaking in, or I'll go to the loo, that kind of thing. Let that soak in. Once that's soaked in, I then think, okay, if I want to do a quick look, I don't want to have time doing a full face of foundation, but I kind of want the look of foundation. So in that case, I will choose a concealer such as this one that will give me a light to medium coverage, and it will give me the look of kind of no makeup, but it will perfect my skin at the same time. And then where I will use this concealer to create an all over perfected look, I will teach you now. So I tend to look, so this is pretty much soaked in already, which is great. So I will get my concealer and I will look at my face in the morning and be like, right, where do I need help? Now, typically for me, it's always under the eye. Now, when you're applying your concealer at home in the morning, if you look down into your mirror, you will always see the darkest part here, okay? Just here. So that is where you apply your concealer there. And for many of us, we have a ridge, like a tear trough ridge. Apply your concealer in there because that's the deepest part. And then you're going to take this finger, your ring finger, and you're just going to pat that. You're not going to do any wiping, you're going to pat. And what that will do is it will help give you more control over where that concealer is, but it will also soak in really well so that it gives you more coverage where you need it, because you don't want to be wiping it all over, because you only really need it on this part of your under eye. Normally, most of us don't have too much darkness around here. We only have it around this part here. So we will tap in, and then areas where you want to thin out the coverage, you can take the same finger and you can feather. So when you want to blend your concealer, use a feather motion. And then when you want to add more coverage, use a tapping motion. So we'll do that on the other side. Now this concealer is lovely because it doesn't emphasize fine lines, and I think it looks really natural. It doesn't really look like I'm wearing much, but if you've got a concealer that you think, maybe it's too light or maybe it's too dark for you, top tip is to put a little bit here and here and then blend it into your cheek. And what that will do, it will blend all the concealer in so it doesn't look like you've got an obvious kind of concealer mark around your eye. And the other little tip is if you're someone that has redness, rosacea or hyperpigmentation on your cheek, drawing like little cat whiskers here, I call them kitten whiskers, cute kitten whiskers, it really does just take down that redness. But also by putting your concealer here, it gives you the full effect of like you've applied a full face of foundation, because what we're actually doing is we're just perfecting this T-zone area, and we're kind of blending out to the edges of our face, because it's normally for most of us where we have most our discoloration is around kind of like this area of our face. But again, if you do have like, you know, pigmentation around here, you can just do a few little dots and blend. You know, you don't have to do a full face. So for example, I've got a spot here, so let's put a little bit on the spot. Now, if you've got a spot like I have, dab on, wait for that concealer to dry for a few seconds, not completely, and then pat. And that will just really help the concealer give a lot more coverage to that area. So it could be a spot, it could be hyperpigmentation. So I'm gonna leave that for a few seconds. And while I do that, I'm gonna put a little bit in the center of my chin, because by perfecting the center of my chin, that gives the look of an overall foundation look. And then I'm gonna do a little bit on my forehead here, like that. And I'm gonna do a quick feather blend. Remember, I taught you patting on your under eye, and when you want a more kind of diffuse, don't need as much coverage, you can do a quick blend like that. And then let's go back to this spot. Now, if you have a spot or you have an area that you want to cover, don't be tempted to wipe it. You're gonna pat around the area that you want to blend out and leave the middle like free of any patting or anything, because the more you pat and feather, the more you're gonna take off that concealer. So that's now gone. I'm gonna add a little bit more coverage here. And a top tip, this is what us makeup artists do, is when you want more coverage in an area, apply one cover, allow it to soak in while you do another part of your face, and then go back in and reapply another layer. And what that does, not only does it give you more coverage, but it also helps that part of your makeup stay on for longer, which is a double win. Now, you might have noticed in the start of my video, I applied some concealer here and here. And this is a great little tip when you're short of time in the mornings. Many of us have discoloration on our eyelids. I do. You can see it's slightly more red. Now, I say, let's make that redness into an eyeshadow look. And to do that, if you put a little bit of concealer under your brow bone here, and we perfect this area, and we blend that colour in, then what you'll see is I've actually kind of made the discoloration work for my eyes and almost give like a bit of an eyeshadow look. And because the discoloration goes up to my socket, it also helps create the look of a more kind of lifted eye, because this is lighter than this. And when you make your brow bone lighter, it's going to give a lift to your face. The other area is to go around our nose. We always have like discoloration around here. And then the last thing I did in my 2-minute, 3-minute tutorial is I put a little line of concealer down here. The reason I do that is because it almost gives like a natural contour look to our noses, and I will just pat that to blend. And I'm not feathering, because when I feather, I don't get as much control as where that colour goes. But when I pat, I can keep the colour and the look more in place. And you can see it's given a subtle contour. So the next thing I did is I reached for a bronzer. Now, I know a lot of people, particularly like might feel a bit like, oh, I've never worn a bronzer, or I only wear a bronzer in the warmer months when I want to look tanned. But, you know, as we age, I don't know about you, but as I'm well into my late 40s now, and I've really noticed that my skin can look quite sallow, and it can almost look all like just a bit dull. Like I've lost that kind of like oomphy, like ooh, peppy look to my skin. So even in the cooler months, Every single day I'll wear a bronzer. Now this looks quite dark, but it goes on really natural. And the tip to make your bronzer look natural and almost like a little sculpt to your face is to have a brush like this. A link is above or below. It's got a slight slant to it. And what this will do, and it's not too big either, it will hug underneath your cheekbone, and that's where we want the bronzer to go. So we want to start here, and then we're going to hug it around, so it's almost like around like this. So we're scooping and cradling our cheekbone. So let's tap in, and then I always, either on the back of my hand, on a palette, or on a clean microfiber cloth, I would tap off, because I don't want to apply too much at once. And actually in the start of my video, I applied a little bit too much at once, but I was panicking because I was on camera and I was like, oh, I've just got to go with it. And I start from here and I sweep around like that. And I'll do a few little layers depending on how much I want to put on. And I always start the bronzer here rather than here, because if I start here, I don't get as much contour. But if I have more darkness here than here, I get much more of a sculpted contour look to my cheekbone. So let me just apply that so you can see. And I'll blend it a little bit on the kind of around the C of the eye here. And I will also put a little bit around my forehead. Can you see? It's very subtle, but what it does is it gives me a natural kind of, I don't know, it's not quite contouring because it's more natural than contouring, but it gives me confidence to be fair. And I put a little bit more around my jawline. So I'll go my jaw here, back of my jaw. I'll go right on this line here. I won't go over the line, I'll go under the line like that. And then I'll fuzz it downwards like that, because I want to help strengthen my jawline. Now, if you have, let me see, like a jowly bit, okay, what you could do is add a bit more bronzer to that jowly bit, and what that will do is just knock that back so that it doesn't look so protruding. So you could do that. And do you know what, if you make a mistake, just get your microfiber cloth, or a flannel, clean off your brush with it, and then just blend. And blending can be as simple as little swirly motions. Okay, so can you see, very subtle, but this side looks a little bit more just sculpted than this side. This side looks quite flat, but adding in this gives it a little bit more definition. And that's what I love about wearing a bronzer every day, even on a 2-minute makeup look, because it really does, it gives me added confidence. So let's do the other side. Okay, so I'm just sweeping it. There's your cheekbone, you can feel it, and you're going to go right underneath it and hug it. So you're almost hugging that bone. And I'm not going down, okay, because, you know, I'm well over 40, well, I'm not quite 50 yet, but just a year away. And if I take this down, that's gonna draw my face down. So I wanna really hug that bone structure there to create a lifted sculpt. You see? Take it across here. And you see, when I'm doing it, when I get to my forehead, because I don't want so much of a really sculpted look, I just wanna fuzz it a little bit. I've probably applied too much there. So let me just get my microfiber and take a little bit off there. I mean, this is real life, you know, this is, even makeup artists apply too much, but you just have to know how to correct things. So I get my microfiber cloth and just wipe a little bit away. And then I will do my jawline. I always start at the back and then take it to my chin, because if you've got too much on your brush, it doesn't matter so much at the back here, and it's not so hard to blend. And it's really good in the mornings when you're short of time to get that, you know, just to easily blend it. Now, you'll probably think, gosh, this is detailed, but you saw how quick it was in the start of this video. And this is just me teaching you the tips. So the last thing I'll do is take that bronze, squeeze my brush like this. Now you could use an eyeshadow brush, but if you've got only 2 minutes in the mornings and you're short of time, Just use the same brush with the same product and knock it on your eyes like that. Take the leftover and put it down the side of your nose, tip of your chin. Then I'll clean off my brush. And the reason I really love this palette here is because it comes with a blush as well. And if you're someone that's like, oh, I've never worn a blush or a bronze, let alone the two together, let me tell you, wearing a bronzer and a blush together really does set your complexion off in a way that perhaps you've never experienced before. And I promise you, people will say, oh my goodness, what are you using? Or what have you done different? Or have you had a facial or something like that? Because when you wear blush, it lifts the face and it adds a really just fresh prettiness to the face. And you'll see, this is a very, very natural colour. It looks really, it matches my jumper, doesn't it? It looks, possibly you think, oh, that's too pink for me. But when you see it on the cheeks, it just looks really natural. And you'll see as I'm applying it, I'm just applying it really from the corner of my iris here and then taking it up like that. Really, really easy. And you'll also notice this pink has a really nice pearlescent to it. So not only is it adding colour to my face, it's also adding a really nice healthy glow. Okay, the next thing I'll do is I'll pop on some lipstick. Now I've chosen this lipstick because as a makeup artist, I love having those lipsticks in my kit that I know I can pop on anyone and it will look good. And this is one of those colours. So you've got a couple of ways. You could even tap it on your lips like this for a really natural look. This is a great way of applying lipstick if you don't like the look of lipstick, but you just want that kind of my lips only better look. You can tap it on your lips like that. That gives a much more natural look. That you'd never even think I was wearing lipstick. You just be like, oh, she's got nice natural lips. I have. I've just taught you that trick. You need to try it. It's so good. But I like the look of lipstick on me, so I will go and apply it just like, regular. And it gives just a bit more colour for me. It's kind of like a nude, but it's a bit more of a statement nude. This colour, if you want to see it, is in the link above, or I've also put the link below. It's somewhere, you can ask. Now, finally, I use this mascara, and this mascara, as we age, our eyelashes can get thinner, not as long, just more sparse. So I found this mascara and it's dual ended. So it's so clever because this does kind of length and this does volume. It's so cool. And what I like to do is actually start off with the thin end first, and I will take the wand and I will just kind of blink onto it. Oh, let me just wipe a little bit of it off. I will blink onto it like this because it's just a quick way of applying your mascara. Let me show you on this eye. I'll come close. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this without a mirror, forgive me. So you kind of place it on the root and then blink down on it. And that way you don't even have to worry about mascara techniques. So now this is a technique that I taught one of my best mates because she hates applying mascara, but she likes the look of it. So I was like, dude, here's a really easy way. Just take the wand, place it on the root and blink onto it. And the wand does the hard work for you. And then also, if you're someone that hasn't worn mascara for a while, when you apply mascara, it really frames your natural eye colour. So you might have noticed that as I'm applying this, my eyes are starting to look bluer. That's because the black is giving it more frame. So whether you have blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes, you'll know that when you give your natural eye colour a frame with a mascara, whether that be black or dark brown, I really do like, I've got to say, I love a deep black like this. It really does create a lovely frame. And I think this is smudge proof as well, which is just a total win. So you can put it on and forget about it. And then I'll get the other end and then I will just give a few more layers. You don't have to do this, but I'm doing it because it's a double-ended mascara. And it really does give kind of like I wouldn't say it's a full slash look, but I think it gives a natural look, but it really lengthens and volumizes, but in a really natural way. And you'll see, like when I do my bottom lashes, I hold the wand vertically like this, and that really helps give definition to the lower lash line. And then just give this a bit more of a blend. Oh, I'm sweating now. Oh, I think that's it. I think that's all the tips. So what are we thinking? Do we think, is this possible? I've used, you know, four products. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I can't do my maths. And a brush. Really, you know, you could have a separate makeup bag that you just put these in, and then they're your really quick makeup things. These are going to give you an instant impact in a really natural way. That's me done. Thank you for watching. I hope that went well. It was a new way of doing my makeup at the start, and I'll see you soon for more makeup tips and anything you need to know, comment below. And I've probably made a video on it, so if you have a makeup question, ask me and I can send you a video that I've no doubt made that can help you. Anyway, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for joining me. Lots of love. Bye everyone.